William George Armstrong was born at a house in Shieldfield in 1810 in the bustling city of Newcastle. He married Margaret Ramshaw, a Bishop Auckland lass, and at his father's insistence became articled to family friend Armourer Duncan as a solicitor. Armstrong often visited the Rothbury holiday home of Duncan, and his engineering abilities were recognised and encouraged. His first commercial success came with his hydraulic dock crane, and the preoccupation with hydraulics continued with the Tyne swing bridge, followed by the tower bridge mechanism, before branching into building warships and developing the first breech-loading field gun. One of his greatest achievements was in the design and supply of the largest muzzle-loading gun ever produced, the Armstrong 100-ton gun. This is not the Armstrong 100-ton gun. But this is. A rare example of this gun can be found at Fort Rinella, overlooking the Grand Harbour at Valletta in Malta. The design included two parallel muzzle-loading systems with hydraulic gun-laying machinery and shell-handling equipment. The guns could achieve a firing rate of one muzzle-loaded shell weighing 1 ton every 6 minutes, and they were extremely accurate. Armstrong not only supplied the gun, but designed the entire fort layout. The Maltese are extremely proud of the fort and its gun, and are in the process of restoring the infrastructure. Reenactments are performed regularly by volunteers. Cragside stands as a monument to the genius of William George Armstrong. He created it from bare moorland, planting 7 million trees. He also constructed 31 miles of carriageways and footpaths. The walks at Cragside are at their best in early June, when the rhododendrons are at their peak. With all this water about, and bearing in mind Armstrong's passion for hydraulics, the innovations he introduced to the house can be better understood. Following a drought in 1885, when the supply of water to the house was interrupted, Armstrong decided to solve the problem once and for all. He had an abundance of water in the Debden burn below the house, but this was 150 feet below where he needed it to supply the header tank above the house. He therefore dammed the stream to create the Tumbleton Lake and designed a hydraulic engine which he placed 35 feet below the level of the lake. He then used the pressure generated by this small head of water to drive a large diameter piston, which in turn drove small diameter pump pistons which lifted the spring water the 150 feet to the house header tank. Here we can see a water wheel which originally pumped water to one of the estate farms and which now supplies the formal gardens. Of the innovations introduced to Cragside by Armstrong, perhaps the best known was his use of electricity to power the lighting system. In this he had the help of a friend, Joseph Swan, a Sunderland lad who was making a name for himself in the new engineering discipline concerned with the application of the electrical phenomena. Swan had invented the light bulb based on the use of a carbonized paper filament and a partial vacuum. Armstrong used a 6-horsepower Williamson water turbine to drive the system. This was the first hydroelectric power station and the first use of electrical power to light a house. The old water wheel is doing a fine job on the Cragside formal gardens. William George Armstrong became the first Baron Armstrong of Cragside on the occasion of Queen Victoria's Jubilee in 1887. He survived his wife Margaret by 7 years and died in December 1900. He lies alongside his wife in the churchyard of All Saints Church in Rothbury. The Armstrong Cross stands on the site of Rothbury's ancient market cross and commemorates the lives of Lord and Lady Armstrong.